Hello and welcome to another analysis behind the news, where we provide the perspective that you can use to help save American liberty and independence. Ever under attack, the Second Amendment of the Constitution is a hallmark of our American governmental system. According to our founding documents, we the people have instituted government to protect our God-given rights. And according to those same documents, we the people have the right to alter and abolish it when that government fails to protect those rights. Our founders lived this. They lived through oppressive government, and they threw off this oppression in order to self-govern themselves. How did they do it? They voted to declare independence. Then they were forced to take up arms when the King of Great Britain did not agree and tried to force them into submission. Through his troops, the king had come to collect the firearms, ammunition, and other supplies of the local militias who were not in allegiance to him, not to mention arresting those in charge. This forced the first shots. But taking up arms was not their first action against the king. They had tried for 10 years to reason with the king. Taking up arms was their last resort to gain their independence. The founders wrote the Second Amendment specifically to guarantee that the people would remain free. They could take up arms against an oppressive government as a last resort. Now, when you study how totalitarians come into power, you'll notice that one hallmark of theirs is to have control of weaponry that the oppressed could use to gain their freedom. The late Aaron Zellman, who founded Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership, wrote a book called Death by Gun Control that proved that gun control led to genocide in many countries throughout history, including Nazi Germany. Yet, throughout American history, gun control has become a steadily increasing force, with local, state, and federal bans on not just guns, but on accessories, ammunition, and even types of people. Understanding the real reason the founders wrote the Second Amendment is key in understanding our role to preserve the Second Amendment. And understanding and obeying our Constitution is also key to preserving the American Republic. To give you an example of this, TheNewAmerican.com reported last week on a gun control bill that is making its way through the very liberal state legislature in Colorado. Democrats control both houses as well as the governor's office, so the bill could easily be adopted. Yet, more than half of the counties in that state opposed the bill and have said so through resolutions. Many of these counties have even stood up to declare themselves sanctuary counties that will not enforce the gun control law or devote any resources to complying with it. One sheriff told CNN that he would rather sit in his own jail than enforce that law. Now, America needs more of these folks. According to Article 6 of the Constitution, state and federal officials must take an oath to support the Constitution. These sheriffs and county executives are merely obeying the Constitution. Another article from the New American referenced more than half of the sheriffs in Washington state are refusing to enforce a number of state gun control laws, calling the regulations as unconstitutional. Sheriff Tom Jones in Grant County said, "I swore an oath to defend our citizens and their constitutionally protected rights. I do not believe the popular vote overrules that." Well, folks, neither does the state or federal law. That's nullification at work. That's the enforcement of Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution. No further laws or constitutional amendments are needed to preserve liberty and independence. That's the power of informed officials who recognize their duty. That's what we at the John Birch Society had been advocating for 60 years. And folks, that's our plan in action. So when somebody tells you that we must do something because Congress won't fix itself, you can tell them that Congress isn't the place to begin, and that a plan is already available and has been since 1787. It's called Obeying the Constitution. And if you're interested in learning more about Article 6 of the Constitution and how you can help officials obey the Constitution, visit jbs.org for numerous resources. Just look for our action projects. But the best way to help is to get involved. So join the John Birch Society today to help educate others of their constitutional duties to safeguard our constitutional rights. And please be sure to share this video with others. And until next time, we'll see you then.